Huge. This is Casper. He's going to tell us how he got out of the matrix and built financial freedom using online businesses. I'm all about freedom. In order to have real freedom, you also have to have money, passive income, a business that's paying you so you can take a break from it and it's still making money, like an asset.
It's essential.
And how did you, first before the interview, are you under the influence of any drugs right now?
No.
Why not? A day natty is a day wasted. All right, so he's actually pretty natty. So he's not on the chemistry side, but he did a transformation recently. He was like 400 pounds or something.
Yeah, almost.
And
yeah.
he's lost more than 100 pounds of fat. He keeps losing fat very quick. So that we do on the Tony Huge Censored channel. This is about the business and how to get out of the matrix. At what age did you first realize that to get out of the matrix you had to start your own business?
I was pretty young. But I think I was already was when I was 16 years old. I didn't start my own business, but I had like a good friend who was a little bit older than me, and he was doing his own business, and I got affected a lot by his way of life, and I could see that he never had a job. He always worked for himself. So when I was 16, I already started to go in that direction, and then I actually worked for him. I worked for him from when I was 16. I went to.
How old was he at the time?
He was like 21. And I went to, for example, when I went to gymnasium, it's what we call it in Denmark, it's like high school. I had a full-time job after every day where I worked for him every day. And then after some years, of course, our ways split because he kept doing his thing and I wanted to do my own thing. And I was like 18, I had a full-time job back then, was working as a night portier at a hotel, so I could still make my own business at that time. I was doing back then in Denmark they had a lot of deal sites called it was called Deal Hunter, Groupon. I think they also have it in the States back then. And I was trying to find products to do deals with on these sites because it's like you offer the deal site some product and then they have a huge audience they can sell it to, right? But then these deals was going worse and worse and worse, and then I was thinking, why not try it myself? And then I built a website, and then I started to try to experience with Facebook ads.
Is this one of the same websites you still run?
It's kind of the same. It's not the same business because I did two exits actually. So I sold two previous businesses. I built up one business and sold it, and then I built up another business.
Are you saying the first website business you ever started you actually built up and sold?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How did you even know? I mean, you were being mentored by your friend. Is that what gave you all the tools to be able to know how to build a website business and
actually,
make a ton of money and be able to sell it?
Kind of, because back then he made the first streetwear website in Denmark. And back then there was nobody who, even like the big retailers, didn't even have websites. And they didn't even have online
So one
shows.
lesson is to innovate and be first to market.
He was super innovative. One year at Christmas, he printed like 40,000 brochures with offers and just mailed them out to random people all over Denmark, and with a website. And back then, big retailers didn't even have websites. So I saw the journey from where he started with a shop to building a website, and then I said, I'm going to do this. This is my industry.
So that opportunity to be first to market in Web 2.0 world, which is website e-commerce, that was like a gold rush time in history where no matter what website you started, it was going to be successful. Yeah. And then, before there was competition. And then obviously competition comes and you have to get more highly skilled and more strategic.
The thing is...
But right now, just one point to make, right now is the beginning of Web 3.0.
Sure.
So the same type of opportunity that was happening
back then,
at the beginning of Web 2.0 is now happening at Web 3.0, where you don't have to be really good at it, you just have to be
first to market. Yeah.
And there's so many opportunities within Web 3.0 that it's easy to find something to be first.
You're also seeing that in crypto, that with all these things that are popping off, like NFTs, and it's about being first to market, and then you have success more or less. But back then, for example, I did a lot of Facebook marketing, and back then even if you're an idiot at Facebook marketing, you would be able to make money because it was so easy. No,
back then maybe the cost for acquisition of a customer
it was
cheap,
way lower,
but
way
now
lower.
it's high.
Yeah,
right?
also the what you call it, the organic reach was much higher. Back then, if you had a Facebook page with likes on, 75% of the people liking your site will see when you post. Today it's like 5%. You cannot get any real traction without
Because it's too competitive.
you have to pay.
Yeah. So the key again is like be first in the Web 3.0 world instead of competing in the Web 2.0 world, which is saturated.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but now you're still in Web 2.0, but you have established websites that make a lot of money, and you don't see. I mean, you're at the gym a lot. You're doing other business stuff. You've invested in medical technologies. So you've got a lot of going on. Yet you have these websites that are generating you a huge amount of money.
Yes.
Is it mostly based on technology leveraging, or is it also employees you're leveraging?
It's both. It's both. It's also the business models that we're running. Right now, I'm focusing a lot on subscription-based businesses. So it means that when I acquire one customer, I not only pay for one sale, I pay for them coming back and paying me a monthly fee. That's my main focus right now. And what I'm doing a lot of is I'm hiring people, so I don't have to do all the work anymore. Because before, when I did everything myself, I was doing customer support. In some of my startups, I was taking the customer support phone myself just to save cost. So I also been there. But for me, there's also, you have to make money, sure, but what do you want from money? I want freedom. So it means that now I have money to give myself freedom to, for example, now I'm on a weight loss journey. Then I can put all my energy into that. I don't have to focus on waking up every day and working 100% of the day on making money, because I hired people that can help me do this. I still maybe spend 3 hours a day at the gym because I do a lot of cardio. I still also maybe use 3-4 hours a day on business stuff. And I also have a family to take care of and spend time with. So I'm also pretty productive with my time, I feel like.
You could actually spend more time on your business and make a lot more money. So you, probably, right? You sacrifice some money.
Sure. There are some things where I can see if I took over this job again myself, I would be able to do it better than the one who is doing it now. But sometimes it's also about, as I said before, freedom and what makes you happy. And
so we live in Thailand. Do you feel like now you make enough money to where you have no worry about, most people worry about money, worry about the future. You make enough money now that you're totally comfortable, you could practically retire on that, live the rest of your life and cover all your expenses, or you need more?
I don't think I ever will get that feeling, no matter how much I have, because I'm also a little bit weird, because then I just want a better standard of life, right? So it means that I could, if I was happy with a simple life, then maybe I was okay, but I'm not happy with a simple life. I want an extravagant life. I want a good life. And I also think about my kid. I have a daughter. I think.
And what would you tell some, like the younger self or other people that are younger getting in business, like the biggest core lesson that you learned that changed the course of your life?
I have one thing that I always think about. Many of my friends back in Denmark, they always say, "Oh, you're so lucky. You can live that kind of life." And then I always said, no, I'm not lucky, because I put myself in that position. I choose to do a business that was online. I choose that I want to work from a computer. I took the chance of moving up the tent poles and moving to Thailand, right? So my greatest advice to everybody is dare to do it and try to get rid of all this mentality that you have to work 8 to 5, because you will never be super wealthy working for somebody else.
I want to ask one more question, is what do you invest in? Now, disclaimer, he's not an investor. He's invested in medical technology, and I want to know if you invest in things like crypto also. I mean, his skill is building e-commerce websites that are highly efficient, highly leveraged, making large amounts of money, and are sellable. So at any time he could sell his websites and make huge cash payouts, which is not his interest right now because they're just generating a lot of monthly money. But if you're going to invest a lot of money, you've invested in medical technology startup, so that's like investing in a business.
Yes.
That's like higher risk, speculative. It could be a massive return. This is a multi-million-dollar thing. Or what else do you invest in? How about like some smaller, easier investments, or what's some big investment targets, strategy?
I tried when I started making money. I invested in a lot of different stuff like restaurants and all this stuff. And one thing I learned is I don't want to invest in businesses I cannot affect myself. So it means if I don't feel I bring anything to the table, I don't want to invest in it. So I'm not silent money. I want to be a part of the business and try to do something for the business. So that's my, and of course I also invested in crypto because it's the future.
Invest in crypto and invest in businesses that you have some talent to offer also.
It depends on if you feel like you have a talent, of course, but if you feel you can bring something to the table.
So this is one of the reasons why you invested in medical technologies, because you're dealing with doctors and large investors and research scientists, and none of them have technology expertise. You have technology expertise you can bring to that team of medical technologies.
They understand how to, because I invested in a lab, not a clinic, or they are actually developing protocols and medicines. So it means that they understand how to, and the business I invested in is stem cells mainly, right? So it means that they know how to do stuff with stem cells. They don't know how to get to market. They don't know how to get money. So that's what I've been trying to teach them. But yeah.
So you're open to more opportunities in the future where you can put money and your talent in at a ground level to grow a business that you think has tremendous potential.
Sure, because at the end of the day, then life is not funny if you don't have anything to do, right? So even you have money in life, I always think that if you have this entrepreneur in you, you would always want to chase something, right?
Yeah, here's something I worry about. You have the young kids coming up that are growing up on the computers. You and I are a little bit old. We're not the youngest generation. Like this youngest generation is going to have a technological knowledge advantage on us eventually.
Sure.
Are you worried about us older guys like being able to keep up with these young guys coming out when they're getting into the technology arena that is our arena also?
I'm not sure if I'm worried because I felt I've been a part of the waves, and for example also now I was pretty early in with crypto and stuff like that, so I try to follow the young people, but you hear all this and see all these young people they made millions on crypto from nothing. I know in my hometown there's a 17-year-old guy who's a multimillionaire only from crypto, and he just started small and invested his he got some money when he was young from his parents, like what is it called, the kids savings or whatever, and then he invested in crypto and just made a killing. So it's like I admire it and try to follow.
All right, this is Casper and Tony Hughes 3.0 for Web 3.0.